I am a cybersecurity expert. I have multiple certifications in cybersecurity, including a certified ethical hacker and a CISSP, which is considered the global gold standard in security. That being said, yes, I know a lot about computers. This is not a simple topic, and you can make some real money. Certifications are really key, and we're going to talk about those later. But you can also go for formal education. Just know that formal education is often behind the times. You're going to need to stay up on cybersecurity if you're going to go into this field, and you have to be really, really passionate about what you do. Cybersecurity is quite simply an arms race. It's you versus the bad guy. I'll give you an example. There's something called a zero-day exploit. If you don't know what that term is, let me explain. You have a device. That device has some level of virus protection on it. Virus protection typically only knows if it's a virus if so many people have been infected and reported that infection to the virus scanning vendors. That's how the signature file is created, meaning thousands of people have already been infected. Some cybersecurity professional, that's me, has actually reviewed the file and said, yep, this is a virus, we need to get rid of it. And they formed some sort of signature or algorithm to detect that. Now, a zero-day exploit meaning someone, a bad version of me, wrote some code and released it out into the wild, and it's now actively infecting people. Now, disclaimer alert, I would never do that because I'm allergic to going to jail. Here in America, we have some very strict laws. That being said, part of being a cybersecurity expert is you have to really know and understand not just the technology, but all of the interconnecting technologies and the laws. There is something in cybersecurity called a pen tester or penetration tester. They're people like myself you would pay to come to your network and try to break into your network, meaning we pretend to be bad guys to tell you just how vulnerable you actually are. And once we get in, we always get in. We can tell you how vulnerable your internal network is, right down to your computer's keyboard. If it's a Bluetooth keyboard, it may be vulnerable to some sort of exploit. Everything is exploitable. I want to just say that again so you really understand the scope of this. Everything is exploitable. I'm recording this video on a webcam that my wife bought from Amazon. This webcam was made in China. I'm terrified to plug this into a Windows box, so I'm recording this on a Linux machine simply because I don't trust this webcam. There's nothing wrong with the vendor. The problem is the webcam doesn't have a vendor listed on it. It doesn't say Logitech or anything like that. It's just a generic webcam. There's nothing wrong with this webcam. I've scanned it thoroughly. However, that's how dangerous this can get. Anything can be infected, anything can be vulnerable. Now, when you think of this in terms of global networks, this becomes a very real and scary problem. Think of it like a bank. If a bank got infected, this is the stuff out of Hollywood right here. People actively target banks constantly, millions of times a day, all over the place. Now think of government infrastructures, how often they're attacked and how they attack each other. And did you know that businesses, while they shouldn't, and they'll never admit to it, actually do hire hackers to attack their competitors? You hear those news flashes of, oh, the new iPhone was just, the specs were released in the news. I'm not going to say that's what it was, but oftentimes it makes me wonder if that's the case. Now, that being said, you have to understand the legalities. Talk about pen testing, for example. As a pen tester, if I come to your company and I try to scan you, I have to scan you from your network. That's right, meaning I have to attack you from the inside. I cannot scan you from a hotel room or from my house because I'm now violating federal law and I could go to jail even though you hired me and agreed to me doing this service. That's right. It is illegal to attack a system even for beneficial purposes in the United States. So you're going to need to know your laws and the laws of the regions of the customers you're working with. For example, if I were to work for a company in, say, Soviet Russia, they may not have that law. I would be violating United States federal law, but not Russian law. That's what I mean by it gets very complex very quickly.